Okay, hello traders and welcome to our live trading session video update. It's Stu Narpan here, founder of Master the Markets, Elite Traders Conference and the Traders Open Day. So here we are on this trade, as you can see from all the materials and what we've been updating you. We're using the time frame correlation and stretch principles over here to look at this trade. So what we actually do usually is that based on the principles of strategy construction for sustainable, scalable, reproducible strategies, we are first looking at a trigger point to enter the trade. We got the first trigger point over here. That is what we call our setup bar. Actually, in fact, to be honest, to be very specific, that is actually your trigger bar. It's not really our setup bar yet. Setup bar is the precursor to us entering, and we wait for a confirmation bar to enter as per the strategy. So I would say, if I were to call it, this is the trigger bar here, which will give us a statistics of the 84% chance of a BRO forming to the downside, which gives us a directional bias. Over here, then the next bar here is then retraces. Now that's called what we call a setup bar here, and after that then we have that back coming down here. However, our real confirmation actually is for the low of this setup bar here, or also very near to the close of the previous bar. So that's where we entered, where you can see this green line over here. And then our stop loss is for the high of the outsider bar, and the target is just for the range, 80% of the range for today. Okay, so that's what we are looking at. So currently we have about 2 positions over here. Those are all the trades that we've taken so far. Here we got dollar Swiss here, which is a position trade which is going on, and then we got this intraday trade, which we are currently up about 6 pips. Okay, and that's just running on the background. So we will trail that, we'll see, and I'll update you on how that trade goes along into the day. And in terms of, some of you might be wondering, like, okay, some of the terminologies you're not familiar with, what is Militivo talking about, how do I get familiarized with myself? So, we have done like 2 video courses that will help you. You see, for example, like for beginners, you can look at traderstarterpack.com. In fact, beginner is not defined by a number of years you've been trading. It's a matter of whether you know the terminologies and the risk management and the reward risk potentials and all that. So even if you do not know that, you see some intermediates, the way to check is that, do you know how to calculate your trade risk? Do you know how to calculate your reward to risk potentials? Do you know what a stop loss is? Do you know what is trailing stop loss? If you do not know any of that, I highly recommend that you start off with Trader Starter Pack, a video course that we actually also add first in the Empire Cinema. So really good amount of content that we put over here that you can look at. For those of you intermediates who do know all of that statistics that I've just mentioned over there, familiar with the basic terminologies, you can look at Trade Like a Master. This one is very, very high, good content as well here, where we talk about how you should be considering to build your strategy so that they are scalable, reproducible, and sustainable. Okay, you can just click on it here and put your name, email address. Alright, so I think that's that, and I will update you guys as we go into this, as we progress on with this trade. Okay, traders, so you can see that now the trade has progressed in our favor. So we've got about 10 pips that has been in our favor over here so far. However, you can see also that our target at the moment, if you see, is basically at this green point, which is 80% of the ATR range, which is about 68 or 69 pips. Now, what you can see is that there's been 2 hours since the trade has been triggered, and we are still not getting to our target. So this is the thing what needs to be filled up in terms of our exit research. That's where money is made, is it not, traders? So that's the thing that we need to find out in terms of how long it takes to get to 80% ATR, where to pull out the trigger and exit. But for now, I'll do an MS1 trail on here on the high of this bar, 138.35, 138.36, 138.37. So 1.3837, that's just 2 pips above our entry, almost broken even. Okay, so that's what I will do at the moment, which is what brings us to here, just a little bit less than £100 will be. Alright, so I'll pause the video here. So let's see how this trade did as of now towards the end of play. So as you've been monitoring this trade, as you can see, this is where we entered the blue line, as I've explained before, and then our initial stop was here, target was here. The trade price did come very close to our target level, but had a very little retracement over here. It pulled back up again within the bar. Now, let's see. After that, what do we then do? We then trail the stop loss to the high of this bar, which almost gets us to more or less break even. Okay, we just followed our system, and after that, the next bar itself took us out. Now, what are the things that you can be thinking about in terms of improving this particular strategy that we are looking into? That you can first look into time and distance. So if it does come into near to our target here, and within 2 hours, if it does not hit our target, and if it's got 3 consecutive closes, which is your first one there, second and third, you can look to exit the trade live. Okay, so that's the things that you can look into. So if it does not hit your target within a certain time, or if it's done more than or equal to 3 consecutive closes or 2 consecutive closes, you can look to exit the trade live. Now, why would you look to consider to do that? Because as you can see, price never moves in a straight line, is it not, traders? That's principle number 1 of market dynamics. You can very highly unlikely that this will keep happening. Okay, so that's what you can then do. You can look into it in terms of the time of the day as well, because time of the day will play a large part in terms of volume and whether any news is coming out in the day as well. But do remember that every parameter combination will have its own stats, so you need to check all of that out. Okay, so in terms of this trade, because of how we have trailed it and kept our execution consistent, in terms of this, we had a very small loss today of -20 over here, which is almost break even. Other than that, that's how we are consistently executing this very simple strategy here, and we'll be doing that going forward and showing you all how it's done. For those of you who want to learn all the beginner fundamentals and important points, you can always take a look at our Trader Starter Pack video course over here. And for those of you intermediates, you can also look into our intermediate video series, which is called Trade Like a Master. Alright, I guess that's all from me on this video, and as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.